Hello there, Bic Benedict here. We're playing God of War Ascension on Titan difficulty, and this is my no upgrade run plus. We're currently on chapter 14 of 30. It is entitled The Cistern. So we've gone through here before. We're going back the way we came, and before I start talking about this chapter, I want to mention something from the previous chapter. Do you remember when I was talking about the shield and how you can always go back and get it? What I wish that I had said, and it's not that essential, but I just kind of wish that I had said it, is that even if you reset the checkpoint after you have the shield staked into the ground, you don't have to do the siren and the two armored grunts on the same try as you do to get the shield. So even if you die, a few times on that fight, the shield will always be waiting for you. So it saves it right after, and it only saves it when you beat the level. So you're absolutely good. Also, remember when I was joking in the beginning of the last video about and I'm sorry I'm talking over this fight. It's basically, there's two fights in this chapter and they're garbage. One fight you're throwing dogs as ammunition at a Crusader captain, and then the next fight you're throwing lightning bugs into a Cyclops berserker. And it's just not fun. I really wish it was fun. But do you remember at the very beginning I was chastising the game that it didn't mention the suspend points, or I think I actually said stop points, but when you are using the amulet and you're slowing down time or healing things, and the objects slow down, I thought it was called a stop point, but it is actually called a suspend point, and you do get that tutorial coming up at the end of this video when you do the wheel puzzle. So I thought the tutorial occurred on Delos, but it actually occurs at the end of this video. However, it should have been in at the beginning of the last video, right before you even use. There should have been a little bit more to the tutorial to talk about suspend points. But yeah, this fight is not going to give you any problems. And I just, like I said, I find these enemies just really boring. This setup, there's, kicking dogs at satyrs to have the satyr get bounced around. I like that perfectly fine, but it just doesn't deal the damage that it used to, as for instance in God of War 2. But I still do appreciate that you can deal damage to them. They didn't take that out, and I do appreciate that you can get setups and you can have enemies get bounced and things like that. So during that last fight, though, what I think that I did, do you know how I use, and again, I'm sorry I'm talking over these fights, but you're not going to have any problems with them. They're so simple. Do you know how I use the square triangle move to do the super plume with the level 1 blades? Well, there is one other way that you could do it. It's T S S S S T, and I filmed myself doing each of those moves, and I put it on a Sony Vegas timeline, and I captured every frame possible, and I got the times for both, because I was told, Big V mentioned to me that the ladder input TSSSST is faster, but it actually isn't faster than the way I've been telling you folks. Because what it was the first input is 3.08 seconds, and then his method of doing T four squares T is 3.45 seconds. So it's a very marginal difference, but it's not something that you would I mean, if there's other reasons, for dealing damage and stuns and things like that, but and not being able to start with a heavy move. I'm just speaking about the time. If it was a little bit faster, not just like fractions of seconds, I might consider changing to that. But and the reason is, because since now S doesn't chain into T, the super plume is not done by pressing square, triangle, square, 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 triangle. So we have to do all the S inputs, the 5 S inputs, and then the T. So anyway, the Cyclops berserker fight's pretty simple. You just throw the lightning bugs at him, and he just stands there, electrified, possibly, or he's just waiting for you to make your next move, so we can try to stomp on you. And then you will encounter a second wave. They put a second wave of those bugs. If you watch that closely, you saw that I got a checkpoint after I had killed the Cyclops, and there were more bugs. So they do give you a checkpoint, and there's like another half dozen bugs to throw around. The bugs are, that's not an enemy. That's not an enemy. I know it has an attack, so technically it's an enemy, but I just find it like just babyish, beneath me, beneath everybody who's playing. See, it said suspend the objects right there, so I was wrong about the name and where it appears, but it's not a big deal. It's really not, but it's just those little things that kind of irk me. And that's all there is to the puzzle. Make sure that you don't heal that piece of wood and start moving things up until you get over here onto the wheel itself. And then in the next video, we're going to be taking on, there's just one encounter in that video, and you're going to be taking on 2 ice Taloses. They only appear once in the game. They're in the grotto. So the grotto is actually where we're bound, if you didn't know. And it's kind of silly that they have doubled up the names for the chapters. I mean, the first grotto you go through is called the grotto, and then 7 chapters later it says the grotto again, and those are individual chapters. Yeah, the game moves for you over here. It doesn't trust you. It thinks you can't do that, but I don't have any problem with it. If it wants to finish for itself, fine. I don't mind dealing with that. But say goodbye to Kratos. He's going down, and I will see you in the 15th chapter. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you will please continue to take care.